Good afternoon everyone and welcome to today's webinar. It's Mike that's going to be going through today's session, and we do have Tom on the live chat, so he'll be there to answer any questions you may have during today's session. So what we'll be covering is a bit of an updated PrimaGO contact setup. So it's going to be focusing on the new features in the latest version of Prima. So it's not stuff that's going to be in the current version that you're using, but as we do upgrade and as the upgrade goes out to customers, these are going to be the new features you'll have access to. So the main way of setting up a contact is the same way. So as you've been doing it for all our PrimaGO users, it's the same way. You know, you go into a web access tab, you are web enable, give it a password, make sure that you can see what you want to see. That is all the same, but there are some new features surrounding this on the way that it works, and that's what we'll be going through today. So to start off, we go into the company and we go into just a company and a contact to get set up, and I'll show you sort of the new features that are available. So just go into this contact here. So as I said, the way that you actually get this set up hasn't changed. You know, it's still the same way. So if you go into the web access tab, you've got the option to give an account login and password just here, as well as the web enabled at the top. The new features that are in here, which we'll be going through, we'll start off with the restrict categories. So you can do this on a company level or on a contact level, and basically you can say to this, user, right, you're only restricted to see these categories, or the company are only restricted to see these categories. So that's what you've got here. So you'll select this option, you'll go into the restrict categories, and then you can basically see what's available currently, and then you can move them into the restricted. So basically, if you move it over, you'll be able to restrict it from being seen, and whatever's left and left-hand side will be allowed. And basically, you can do that on contact level or on company level. So if you've got one contact that only orders toners, you've got one contact that only orders catering, you can basically select the groups that they're allowed to see and restrict them sort of appropriately. And as I say, that's on company and it's on contact level also. So you can be very, very flexible with that. So next to those options, we do have a new option of the pay type. So the pay type previously has just been an option that's been selected and available per company. So how you actually order online. So you've got your account, you've got your credit card, defaults, and a few other bits in there. And basically you can default that per contact. So you don't, and you're not just restricted to having sort of the same payment method across the board for all the company. It may be that one contact has to get their orders authorised, but they have to pay for it up front or whatever. It can be customized appropriately per contact. So there's a bit more flexibility in the way that you work if your customers' requirements do meet this. The two sort of very, very new features that are into this version just come below, and it's all to do sort of with how your customers log in and basically what will happen. So the first option which you see is ticked here is change password on login. So this would be more appropriate for when you're setting up accounts. If you have that option ticked, when the customer does go in and log in online, it will request them to change the password. So rather than giving just a default password that you select, it'll allow them to enter their own password in without having to actually go find that option. It'll do it for you. So yeah, that's something that will be coming. And then finally, the option that's below is the option to allow multiple company logins. So you may have a customer that is a branch of hotels, you may have a customer that uses multiple accounts in Prima, and basically what that option allows you to do is manage the accounts from just one login. So for example, I've got Mike's test login here. Now, within the system currently, you aren't able to replicate those anywhere else. So for example, I know that there's another contact set up with these details. If I just remove the one, it'll throw an error say, well, you can't have that. The combination already exists against this contact and this account code. So you see in the background the account code. Now, if we were to select this option to allow multiple company logins and do so, it shouldn't give us an error as long as the other contact's been set up correctly. So you see there's no error there because I've selected that option. Now, if we were to log in online, it would log in against sort of the first user, so it would be logging against the child account. But from the My Account section, what you can now do is select an account to order against. So rather than having to, if you've got someone that orders across multiple branches, rather than giving them 10 sets of passwords, they can just have the one account login and the contacts set across multiple accounts, and they can just switch between the accounts as they want. So rather than being stuck to just ordering against one branch, they will be able to access them all with a click of a drop down, which will be a really good feature for any of your companies that do manage multiple branches using, say, parent and child. So they won't have to just use, say, the log to child. They will be able to have and manage from just one account, which will give you a lot of flexibility when trying to sort of set up bigger accounts and tender for accounts online, because you will have that functionality available. But apart from that, there isn't really much else that's changed. It's the same process. They're just the new features that have been bolted on and been added in, and it should be it should allow you to be more flexible when setting your customers up online. If you have any questions, myself and Tom will be hanging around for a little while at the end now. But apart from that, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.